Hey everybody, Diesel from Magic Guys here with
Vash.
and he is going to show us his third place ranking deck from the Autumn Circuit series.
At the list from Richmond,
Virginia.
Columbia, British Columbia.
Oh, British Columbia.
Yeah.
That's a trip. Alright, what'd you play?
I play Nightrose.
Alright, well, let's get started. Show the people what's going on.
Yeah, the deck everyone thought was dead. So,
You thought it was over.
but it's just only the beginning. So for a starter, I run the obvious Undying Departed Grenache. On place, hollow, counter, at the end of turn, countercharge 2 when it dies. Nothing really to say, just countercharge. Then we have 4 heals. Okay.
Is that heal specific to the deck? Is it?
It has a skill, so it's just situational. So you basically just discard a grade 1 or less if you stride Nora, and you can just recycle a card if you want. It comes in handy if you need to build your drop zone.
Right on.
Next is 2 Banshee stands. On place, you can hollow it, and then it hollows something else. So it's good for utility with your starter. Just to, like, if you called it as your forerunner instead of keeping it in the soul.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we have the one Mick the Ghosty.
The single Mick, because you can't do it without it.
Yeah, because of the deck that shall not be named fault that killed it.
What deck was that?
You don't talk about it.
You mean the deck that took first place at the IYG stand-up series?
Yeah, the deck that has a very negative connotation accounts around it.
Oh man.
But 1 is still good. You just learn to play with it. Just learn to make the right decisions with it.
Right.
Yeah. And next I run 9 criticals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, are we on these specific criticals for a reason? I know the reason to run Rough Seas.
Yeah, so Rough Seas build the soul for...
Build soul, draw some cards,
Yeah.
do yourself a favor.
Yeah, Rampage Age, same thing. The last crit you can basically run... I run any crit. I just choose Cody because why not? It has an effect. Never use it, but hey, whatever. I decided to go for the 9 crit because I wanted to have at least some critical pressure, because once your opponent realizes you're just soul charging Banshees and Rampage Shades a lot, they realize you're low on crits, and they'll just guard your rear guards and take the Vanguard most often.
Yeah, so you want to run that extra little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Make sure things go through. That makes sense. Totally.
Yeah. And stands are nice, but I just like running 3 stands. I just like the stands just for the utility rather than the actual hitting it. But hitting it is still nice.
Yeah.
Let's go on the
Plus, hitting that nice little stand crit combo makes things nice, right?
Yeah, they'll never see it coming. Next, I run 2 Bale the Ghosties. So when it dies during battle phase, if you have a Nightrose Vanguard, add to the bottom countercharge. It's pretty good for the aggressive plays and to maximize resources whenever you need it. For the perfect guard lineup, I'm running 3 Seawall Banshees and 1 regular OG perfect Freddy. So
yeah. That's legit.
Yeah. So Seawall was originally I was running Jin, but I was OTT recently came out with their perfect guard, G guard stoppers, and so I mean grade 0 G guard stoppers. So I wanted to have a perfect guard that was recyclable to my hand, and the 1 normal perfect is for the combo with Nora. So you can. So if he's in a drop zone, you use Noir's skill to call him to Guardian Circle, and you can discard a card, and that's automatically nullified. It's to get around those big Vanguard numbers like Drag Strider or Die King.
Yeah. Those one-hit wonders.
Yeah, so you don't have to overguard like a 90k Vanguard attack or something.
That's awesome.
4 Strike Otters. Pretty obvious there. And next, 4 Negrobones. Very good. There are some techs I was experimenting with grade 1 like Fatal Shade and Quincy, but I found those are like too situational and don't serve much purpose the whole entire game. So I just went with a basic lineup for the rest of grade 1s.
Okay. Yeah. Just the normal standard fare. That's
Yeah.
alright.
Nothing fancy.
If it ain't broke.
Don't fix it.
That's right.
Unless something else broken comes out, then you replace that shit immediately. 1 Poker Tech, because why not? Never know.
You never know, and I agree 100% with that notion.
It's like there's the debate where people say you can play around Link Joker with Granblue, and I agree you can. It's not that hard, but yeah, at the same time you don't want to have to make difficult plays for it, and a smart player would know how to counter Granblue if they were playing Link Jokers anyways. So poker just ease up your game a bit.
Yep.
Next we run 2 King Serpents. Just on play soul charge, counter charge, good for fuel.
Yep. Just get some stuff going.
Yeah. Don't want to run too much. Don't want to ride it. Sometimes. It's 3 Negro Lazies. It's very good. Just this helps you combo during your opponent's turn, or just to get cards in the field if you go into like a stride like Negro, what's it called? Damn it.
Bone?
No. I'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll see it.
Like if you're not going to Gash or anything that like Mass Superior calls, he helps sets up those plays.
Yeah. Definitely.
3 Negro Rooks. Just average 16k beater. 3 Cannoneers on place. Hollow, kill something, and then draw a card. Originally I was running 4, but I found 4 to just be really clunky with your Negrobone turn.
Mm-hmm.
Since you couldn't hit numbers like you would with Rook, so that's why I upped them up to 1. But I don't know, that's pretty average grade 2.
Yeah. Normal, pretty normal lineup. Now, real quick, tell the people, how many times does poker save your ass during the tournaments?
None. I saw no Link Joker matchups.
Oh wow!
But the storm's coming though.
It's
just give it a month.
It's true. We saw a lot of LJ support recently, and it's gonna.
Yeah, we're going to see the return of the poker.
Yep. All right. What's next? Grade 3s, right?
Yeah, grade 3s. 4 Nightrose grade 3s.
Course.
OG, just really good. GB2 combos everything, and the rest is 1 Nightstorm, 1 Starlight, 1 Whale. Yeah. So Whale is basically there for power. If your opponent if you need to hit numbers, Nightstorm's there to auto create to push more attacks, and Starlight is there for like an on ride purpose, but she can also combo well with like your other cards, especially during your Negro Song returns. If you just need to call, like if you play something and then you just need to call a booster to give her power.
Yeah. I see that. Now, most people probably know these cards. A lot of people know the Granblue stuff. I'm a little off the game right now. So tell me about Whale. What is Whale? I've never seen that card.
Yeah, Whale was the regional promo for Refight. It's when it's hollowed, so if it's hollowed and it's attacking, it gains plus 1k for every 2 cards in your drop zone. So ideally during your late game you should have at least 15 to 25 cards in your drop zone, so he becomes like a 24k beat stick, and and then boosted is a 31k number, which is really
so
good.
But I love it.
But lately,
I love grade 3s that do work without striding. So
yeah, but he's not an ideal ride.
yeah,
Just I learned that lesson a lot during top 4. Like
yeah.
2 games in a row, I just rode him because I couldn't search out a Nightrose, and it was just hilarious. It's just like, well, I reap what I sow.
Here's my fatty, right?
Yeah.
So what's the problems with riding him? What's the main issues? Just that he's not named Nightrose? Or?
Yeah, he's not named Nightrose. He doesn't have any skills on ride other than just he's a 12k base, and he's only a 12k base if you have more than 5 cards in your drop zone. Otherwise, he becomes a 9k at Vanguard, which is bad.
Yeah.
So that's
So if someone has something like Thunderstrike going on, then
yeah, they could
really screw you over with. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you run into that at all? Any Thunderstrike?
I run into like 1 or 2 Thunderstrike. It was, I played around it, I think, pretty well. I just kept my drops. I don't set up my drop zones super early if I know they can stride first. And also, I try to abuse my GB2 even if I don't really need to call something back, just to create more resources for myself there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. But lately I see people running 2 of her for the Starlight loop, which I tried, but it makes your ride consistent, but overall it's not something I like to build towards.
Yeah.
And I just like...
It's not ideal for what you like to image.
Yeah, I like to have more utility.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, the stride deck. Am I going to be seeing the normal fare here, or is
yeah,
a little bit of switch?
Yeah, pretty much.
Normal fare? Okay, let's see it.
So we got 2 Dragnaughts, 2 Songers, 4 Gauche, 1 Obadiah, 1 Seabreeze, 1 Ship. Yeah, so this is pretty much a standard for Nightrose. Some decks I saw run, there are some decks where I saw run 4 Songers and 1 or no Dragnaughts, just because I guess they want just the more aggressive plays to get the extra attack. But I found myself, I tried 4, but I found myself just forcing myself to stride him, even if I don't have a good setup, because he was my only other option.
Yeah.
And this is basically a game ender, and Ghostie's Obadiah's there just to...
Because Obi?
Yeah, just Obi. One and only. He's there from the beginning. He'll be there till the end.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, man. What do you think of that Ghosty deck? Did it do anything? You see Ghosty decks?
No, but I have played around with the Ghosty deck, and it is really crazy. Like...
He's in there.
So,
he's not?
So let's go on to the
All right.
G-Guardians.
So what do we got? G-Guards.
2 Lilies, 2 Noras, 1 Rackham. Rackham's there just to get your Cray Elemental into your G-Zone for poker. Lilies for the Cannoneer Mick plays. Nora's there. Nora's there for more guard power and accelerate the GB8.
Mm-hmm.
I found like it's pretty standard fare for the G-Guardian. I have debated about taking out 1 Lily for a Eclipse just for a guard number, but I can't seem to get to myself to just get rid of 2 Lilies for some reason. Even if I only do her once, but I always feel like I need to do her second.
In the tournament, how many times did you do 2?
I would say I have never had the chance to do 2.
Okay.
But she's basically there for... But it's something that you don't know if you need, but...
You heard it here, folks. -1 Lily, +1 Eclipse. That's what it sounds like. And I understand that idea of that utility. Think in terms of numbers, people. And, I believe Vash and I have had this conversation several times before on what is and is not necessary, right? If he needed that second Lily, he'd see play of it sometime. So I totally see where he's coming from, because I know that feeling of, but what if I need it? What if I need it? Statistically, you have needed it 0% of the time.
Yeah.
So do that change, or a different change, something else that helps you out. Or keeping it, since if you don't need it to win, it looks pretty, like it doesn't, there's no harm in playing a card just because it's there. As long as you don't ever need that slot, nobody cares, right?
Yeah. It makes your opponent double guess, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
I mean, if they know what's going on in your G guard, then it's good for them to go, uh-oh, I could get Lily. It could happen.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, overall thoughts on the deck, and its what did it lose to at the tournament?
I went undefeated day one.
Day one, no losses. We'll talk more about that in our little G Zone segment. So, guys, make sure you stay tuned into that. But day two, go ahead.
Day two, I lost 2 of my games against ZTB, Tachikaze, and last game I had with Blaster, and the deck just stopped on me, so I lost all 3 games day 2.
So Time Beasts and Tachikaze
And Blasters.
and then Blaster is where you felt like the deck wasn't performing at its highest.
Yeah.
Do you think that Blaster is a bad matchup for you, or is it just that you were?
No, it was just I wasn't hitting the cards I want. First game against Blaster, I rode Nightstorm, but couldn't get to Nightrose fast enough to recover. Second game, I had the G assist for a grade 2, and that really hurt me against guarding against Blasters. So I couldn't catch up. But then in top 8, I went against the same Blaster deck I lost to last time and felt more prepared against it. Rushed him first game. Second game, I decked him out.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so just I just kept his resources low, so his only stride was just to Gance a lot all the time, which caused him to lose more cards from his deck.
Yeah. So people were talking about this being dead. You showed them third place. What you lost to a Blaster deck, obviously, and then what was the other deck ahead of you?
Tachikaze and Zodiac Time Beast.
Tachikaze and Zodiac Time Beast are the only 2 that ended up ahead of you. That's impressive. Knowing that Granblue can survive in this format. Now, we did just have that drop. Do you think that when people start playing Link Joker again on a heavy support, is it going to still be a go-to, or are you going to have to augment things, or is it just you'll have to wait out the storm that is LJ?
Well, it depends. Link Joker, there's lots more variation in Link Joker now than there used to be. Chaos is now hitting numbers rather than just 16-16 control. So that could force some extra guard. The leaders are apparently might make a comeback. They were always originally an aggressive deck, and now they have but they're still, and they have a bind mechanic similar to Vanquisher. So this deck could still play around all that. It's just for Chaos and Amnesty, you might have to play a grind game to where you can get to a good point of winning. The leaders, I haven't had much experience against that, but I assume it'll be similar to the Vanquisher, where you just keep your drop zone at a minimal and try to hold out the aggressive turns. But yeah, this deck could still survive, especially with the new stride that's coming out for Nightrose. It could see some survival.
Okay. So, if you had to tell people, is Granblue dead?
No, the Granblue is just still alive. Every deck, like 7 Seas, Rush, Nightrose, regular Night Mist, they're still very live decks. They just played more differently now than before.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Vash, for showing us your deck. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe, check things out, comment at the bottom, let us know what you think. And as always, we'll see you next time. Bye. Dun, dun, dun.